toddlers to even elderly people, they just love mangoes. And summer is the best season to have this. So there couldn't be better timing to bring this product for kids and, to add a strong addition to their everyday nutrition with this great product, which sale has already started today. So the product is already available, and of course, here we are going to talk about each and every element of the product. What does it contain? Nutrient composition, and nutrient composition of the product, ingredients, key benefits which it is going to bring along with it, pricing, how to consume, and much more. So before we get into the product, there is a very strong and interesting insight building, which we have done for kids nutrition as a whole, external landscape, what are the key practices when we talk about kids nutrition, what parents think about it, and what are, the trends look like when it comes to nutrition deficiencies, which are the common deficiencies in kids. So we're going to talk all about it. So moving on. Okay. So first of all, we'll talk about the market size and trends. So, of course, we know the overall vitamin dietary supplement market is huge, but part of it, which is kids nutrition, that is also not too less. It is a massive 10,000 CR market, and market is growing at a very, very fast, expensive pace, almost at a rate of 12% CAGR. And the largely this penetration boost which has been coming, it's coming from BDS, which we all know, vitamin dietary supplements. So parents are largely realizing, the importance of supplementation and in kids' daily diet also. And to miss on those gaps, or which could be there coming from the daily nutrition, because of the daily meals, which may not be a perfect diet. So how we can bridge along with that is the help of supplementation. So of course, parents are becoming more and more aware of this fact, and certainly they are moving on to healthy, quality-based supplements for the daily nutrition support of the kids. Okay, so overall, this has been a part of, we have done an extensive research around what are the top 3 needs for kids. So, when we talk about kids nutrition, when we talk about what are the top 3 needs, so first and foremost is, of course, the overall health, which is basically a part of your balanced nutrition. That is the foremost need when it comes to kids' daily requirement. Second most important need, which has been identified, is immunity, and third is digestion. Okay, apart from this, there have been, certain needs which have been existing for ages. So what I just spoke about, balanced nutrition, immunity, digestion, they may be more, relevant in current context, but there have been certain needs which have been existing for ages. So like even when we were a kid, probably our parents also have the same concern, and which is to do with the kids' energy level and mental and physical growth and development. So these 3 needs have been consistent. But of course, we did an added research wing to it, which brings about that immunity and digestion are equally important concerns from a parent's point of view for the kid. Okay, safety. Of course, safety is important for everyone, not only but especially when it comes to kids. Parents become even more conscious, even more aware that whatever they're going to buy for their kids, it has to be extremely safe product. So that is their number one driver when they have to take a decision on the kids product. And of course, a large proportion of population or in our India market, they're willing to pay for clean label products. So clean labels say, with the product which is free of any harmful additives, preservatives, artificial colors and flavors. So certainly parents are looking for it and more than willing to make that as a daily choice for their kids. Okay, another very interesting trend, and of course, as a parents, I'm sure you all can relate to, like majority of parents, almost 54% of them, they say that kids don't find supplement tasty. Okay, that is the foremost need when you have to feed your child with nutrition. The most important thing they look for is taste. Okay, they will not understand the importance of nutrition, nutrients, balanced diet at this point in time of their life. But parents do struggle quite a bit. So large population of people feel like their kids don't find supplement tasty. And of course, they're looking for such products which have a hidden goodness. So on the face of it, they should be very tasty. And yeah, but they do come with a very strong nutrition proposition. That has been the need from the parent point of view. Okay, so this has been more like trends and industry size and all. Now we talk more about, what are the kind of deficiencies which are pretty much common among Indian kids. So, a study says from the World Bank that only 9% kids in India, they get balanced nutrition. So it's a very strong alarm for all of us as a parent. that probably 9 out of 10 kids in India, they're not getting the balance or the required amount of nutrition every day. The rate of malnutrition, and this is a comparison not vis-a-vis developed nations. This we are comparing with the developing nations only, like China, like African region. So comparing to these states or these countries also, India has almost 5 times more malnutrition cases for kids in India. So, which is certainly a very, very strong alarm when it comes to, giving the kids the required amount of nutrition every day. Okay, now talking more about some vitamin deficiencies, which are pretty much popular and common in India among kids. So, or one is the most important and the common one is vitamin A. So, no doubt about it, as we can normally see, like right now, earlier it used to be when you get into schools and also probably after 10, 12, children used to wear spectacles, but right now even very, very small kids, maybe at the age of 3 years, 4 years only, they have started to wear spectacles. So of course, the 1/3 of children in India, they're not receiving the supplementation of vitamin A they need. Further, a large exposure to digital devices, especially during the COVID era when everything moved to online schooling and everything. So knowingly, unknowingly, of course, kids themselves love to spend a lot of time in gaming and everything and operating mobiles and all. But of course, a lot of need was built from the schooling perspective also during COVID era. But overall, what does it mean? Like it is bringing a large kind of vision impact and this thing for kids, and which is further imposed or kind of becoming complicated because they are not receiving the kind of and the amount of vitamin A also which they need on an everyday basis. India has the highest burden of anemia also. So anemia, of course, we normally talk about when it comes to women nutrition, which is again an important part. But in children also, it is as high as 60% deficiency cases which are being prevalent among the Indian population when it comes to kids.
Are you a YouTuber? Or you want to start a YouTube channel? Or you already have a channel but you don't know how to get more views?
So how this early kids nutrition impacting adolescence phase, or when the kids start to move a little ahead in their life in the age of 12 to 14 years. So we all know these adolescents, because since kids nutrition is at a very, very poor stage in India, which is of course reflecting in adolescent phase also. So almost all adolescents, they have unhealthy diets. Every second Indian adolescent, which means almost 50% of adolescents in India, they're either too short or too thin or they're overweight. 1 in 2, again, almost 50% of adolescents, they suffer from at least 2 of these 6 micronutrient deficiencies. So let's say vitamin A, vitamin D, zinc, iron, vitamin B12, vitamin B9, which are like the most important nutrients from the kids' perspective. But almost 50% of our adolescents, they're suffering from at least 2 of these 6 micro. It could be more also, more than 2 also, but at least 2 of them are missing from their daily diet. So kids are future adults. Of course, we know they are like the future of the nation, but are they future ready? Maybe situation doesn't seem to be that great when we talk about particularly in India market, how the kids have been, because it's a function of both the things, amount kind of choices which they make for themselves and coming from the lifestyle and everything. But we all know like nutrition and physical growth in children are integrally related. Okay. We all know like in terms of their height gain, weight gain, mental growth and everything, it is all very, very strong factor which is going to decide all this is their daily nutrition. So optimal nutrition is the first and the foremost requirement for achieving full growth potential from a kid's point of view. Okay, a few more interesting facts, because the importance of nutrition at this particular age or at this particular phase, it cannot be undermined at all. And like one of the biggest again concern, or maybe the thing which from the parents' point of view, is the bone density or the kind of strength of your bone. So bone health in adulthood, it depends on what kind of investments have been made into bones during adolescent phase, because almost 1/4 of our calcium deposition, which is in our bones, has already been established when we were in the age group of 12 to 14 years. So that particular phase is very important to be taken care so that we could have strong bones and a strong muscle health to go ahead with life. Okay, very strong and interesting fact, important for us to know, like 80% of growth in terms of height and weight, both, it happens when the kids are in the age of 10 to 15 years, which as the parents, we all can see, in terms of their overall growth, development, their journey, in terms of, they're gaining their height, they're gaining their weight. So 80% of that growth is happening during this phase. And again, few more things to link on to, because this is such an important stage of 10 to 12 to 14 years, and their daily nutrition requirements are just like multiplying. So just to give an example, like protein, which is like also known to be a growth nutrient, right? And the protein needs for kids, they almost become double from the age of 5 to 12 years. Okay, so what they may need at the age of 5, their requirement has almost will be double the amount of protein requirement every day at the age of 10 to 12 years. So, which is again a very important nutrient to be taken care in their daily diet. Okay, so as we already spoke about this entire phase of being child, and they as they get ready for adolescence phase. So what happens during the first 15 years of the kids' journey, if we see, there are largely two major growth spikes. So of course, the journey could be little different for each of the kid in terms of their height gain, weight gain, mental growth, physical growth, and development. But largely, there have been like two major growth spikes which are seen in everyone's life in their first 15 years of age. So the first major growth spike happens when you're in the age of 0 to 2 years. Okay, so you must have seen the infant, when they start to crawl, then they start to walk and this thing. So there's a major kind of, height, weight changes. So that the thing is that growth is happening at a very fast pace at that time in the first 2 years of life. Then of course you grow at a moderate phase at every year and this thing. But the second, again, the highest growth spike happens between the age group of 10 to 15. So probably in the 10 to 15 is again because as they're getting into early teenage phase, and that is the phase when this growth spike again just goes up. So it is the most important phase when it has to be taken care from particularly the nutrition point of view. And why second growth spike is important? Because if you just look at the image also, because probably it is the last opportunity for child to attain optimal growth. Because we all know, like, height gain and overall development and this thing, it happens till a particular level, and then it kind of, stabilizes, or probably the incremental results after that may not be very visible. So probably first 10 to 15 in second adolescent phase is very, very important, because it is probably the last opportunity for the child to attain that maximum growth. Okay, so now coming to, as we understood what are the key trends, what is the importance of these nutrients, and, how these deficiencies, because particularly from the kids' point of view, we are not in a very good shape and form because the kind of deficiencies which are prevailing, but at the same time, this phase is very important. We just cannot miss on it, because this is an important opportunity for them to attain that maximum height gain, weight gain, mental growth, physical growth, and all that. So, again, a regular balanced diet is the most important thing. Of course, there are other things in terms of it has to be a regular physical activity. They should take adequate rest also. They should actively be involved into various physical and mental activities for their overall growth and development. But the foremost thing which is going to decide that overall is a regular, complete, balanced diet. Okay. And that a regular balanced diet, it should containing 5 main food groups, which are, you can see on my screen. This is like fruits, vegetables, dairy, grains, and oil and good fat. So it's a basically power of 5, which helps a child to attain that maximum growth potential, and it should comprise of these main 5 food groups. So basically, a balanced diet is the key when we talk about adequate nutrition. But children being children, they normally lean towards unhealthy food option. Okay, so what of course they're gonna excite them is momos and all the burgers and pizzas of the world, because they just love having junk food, and hence giving children all the nutrients in a balanced proportion can be a daily challenge, because they are largely leaning towards taste. They are getting all the taste in junk food and stuff. So as a parent, that is being their constant concern, that how I can help with his or her daily nutrition in a balanced proportion. Okay. And here at Nutrilite, since we have been very, very actively engaging into developing such regular daily nutrition solutions, from the last more than 90 years of global expertise, and right now being 25 years, very soon we'll be completing in India also. So here to, sort for this balanced nutrition in a very, very tasty format, this is what we are going to solve for kids. And here we are very happy and excited to announce our limited edition Nutrilink Plus mango flavor. So mangoes, as we already said, summer season is around the corner. We are all going to stock up our refrigerator